contact us through live chat or maybe email. Okay, so some customers are more comfortable with that. So in adapting omni-channel support, we are actually giving more options to our customers to communicate with us in different channels, using different channels. So it also ensures that customers won't have to repeat their issue all over again if they decide to shift from one channel to another channel. So let's say if they wanted to shift from chat support to a phone call, they wouldn't really have to repeat their issue again because we already have a record of their concern. So as a result, omni-channel support paves the way for unified communication and delivers a better customer service. And this is really true because I was actually able to train some agents before, and they would tell me that they have tried giving support to their customers through phone calls, but they also are trained to give support through chat. Okay, so I think that is really nice when it comes to the skill sets that the agents are developing within the company. So it's not just about the convenience of the customers, but it's also about the kind of skill that you would develop for yourself. There you go. And of course, another very popular call center trend is the presence of remote operations. Okay, so expected or unexpected, leaders will want to be prepared for the next crisis. Okay, remote options and flexible staffing models help contact centers stay prepared. Okay, so this is really true. I am actually working at home right now, and I think this is very convenient because I'm able to do my job here, but at the same time, I can spend a lot of time with my family. Okay, but I know that some of my colleagues, they also work on site, like maybe 3 times a week, and then they also have the option to work at home, on some days. So I think, that's very efficient because you are giving, again, options to the call centers are now giving options to its employees on how they can work best and where they can work best. So there you go. And of course, this is also for the leaders to be prepared for the next crisis. So we're already at the end part of the COVID-19 pandemic, okay, but there are still a lot of other health concerns, in the news now. For example, monkeypox and other viruses who will never really know what will happen, but the presence of remote operations would give a little security to our leaders that we can really opt for this kind of work setup just in case another health emergency would arise. So there you go. These are the most current call center trends right now. So some of you might ask, you are senior high school students. You have, I'm sure that you have a lot of goals, in the future. And I can tell you as early as now that the call center industry and specifically Alorica can really give you a lot of professional growth. Okay, but as young members, okay, of this generation, you might ask yourself, what does it take for me to get hired? What should I have? What are the skill sets that I should have, okay, in order for me to be hired in Alorica, right? So I have listed here a few items that you can actually work on. Okay, so, okay. First skill that you should have is the ability to think on your feet. Okay, so what do we mean by ability to think on your feet? It's the ability to make a quick decision or give an answer quickly. All right, of course, with less or no preparation. So it's an agent's ability to be agile and confident in his or her ability to maneuver quickly through a conversation. So that's something that we look for. Guys, when you are taking calls, for example, you're now a call center agent and you're now taking calls. Um, there are a lot of times where a customer might ask you something out of the blue, or maybe the customer will ask you something that you have not tackled, okay, during product training. So we would also look into your ability to be able to answer, okay, whatever questions that the customer may throw at you, okay. And this is also very helpful when it comes to interviews. Okay, some of our recruitment specialists would ask you questions that you don't usually get asked for. Okay, so we would also look into how fast and how accurate you can give answers to those certain questions. Okay, so another thing that we're looking for is you have to have effective communication skills. All right. So when we say effective communication skills, of course, number one, you have to have excellent written and spoken English communication skills. All right. We all know that in the call center industry, the language that we are using is really English, right? That's why we have communications training because of that. So, but when we say effective communication skills, it doesn't just end on how well you speak in English, but it also involves listening to the caller, digesting the information, and conveying a solution quickly and effectively. So you would also try to see if you are skilled when it comes to listening to the customer. And not only that, do you understand, the things that the customer is telling you? Okay, so we would be able to assess this through different recruitment processes, okay, interviews, and even role plays. We're not only going to look into how great you are when it comes to talking in English, but we're also going to check if you're able to comprehend, okay, what your customers are talking about. So there. Another skill that we're looking for is your flexibility. Okay, so make sure you're flexible enough to meet the needs of your diverse customer base. So as a call center agent, you would be able to encounter a lot of different types of personalities. Okay, some customers are really nice and they're very friendly. Okay, they want to talk to you. They're very chatty, but a lot of customers are also irate. Okay, so how are you going to handle that? Are you going to be overwhelmed by those personality types? So we're also looking into your flexibility in handling those type of customers. And of course, aside from that, we're also looking to your flexibility when it comes to challenging work hours. So we all know that in the call center industry, we may ask you to work during holidays, nights, and even weekends. All right. So as early as now, you should be able to decide if you're actually willing to do that. Okay. Are you willing to work on holidays, nights, and even on weekends? But of course, we would give you the correct compensation for that. That's an assurance. Okay. But that's something that you need to prepare for as early as now. Ask yourself if you're amenable to that type of work setting. Okay, so we also look into your ability to multitask. All right, so in this industry, it's very normal for you to do a lot of things at the same time. So you should not be overwhelmed by constant activity and should have the ability to balance multiple interactions at once. So I remember, I talked to one of my trainees before, and she said that, Tel, when I'm working, I talk to my customer on the phone, but I also do something on their account. So I pull up their account, I check their records. And at the same time, my supervisor may actually send me a message through chat. Okay, my supervisor would ask me something. Okay, so she said that I'm doing 3 things at once. Talking to my customer, I'm doing, something on the customer's account, and I'm also replying to my supervisor. Okay, so that really shows how she's able to multitask at work. So that's also something that we want you guys to have. Make sure you're not easily overwhelmed by doing constant and multiple activities at the same time. Okay, but if you ask me personally, this is also something that can be learned. Multitasking can be learned. Okay. And of course, last skill here that we're looking for, you should also remain calm under pressure. So we are also looking for people who are able to control their emotions. Okay. So a high quality call center agent isn't easily flustered. Okay. So some would even comment or, may give their opinions about this industry. They would say that it's the toughest job to maintain, just because of the number of frustrated customers that agents interact with daily. So, guys, you know what? This is actually really true. I've been a call center agent myself, and I was assigned to a telco account. So it's a telephone company, and of course, I handled billing at that time. So I talk about money. So when it comes to money, there can be a lot of irate customers there. So I know how it is. Okay, I know how it is to deal with irate customers. So maintaining this kind of job is really very challenging. You should be able to control your emotions, remain calm, even though you're under pressure to meet your targets, or you're under pressure because your customer is very irate. So you should also have to have that kind of skill. All right, there you go. So I hope that you were able to learn something about the overviews that I mentioned. Okay, so there are a lot of call center companies in the Philippines, but why should you guys join Alorica? Okay, so why Alorica? We actually have a lot of job opportunities. Okay, in this company, and I'm gonna just I'm showing you some of the vacancies that we have, but of course we have new vacancies every day. All right, so what I'm showing you right now is not really the complete list of vacancies that we have right now. So we have agent vacancies here. We are currently hiring customer service representatives, both for voice and chat LOBs. Okay, we also hire collection agents, technical support agents, and customer experience agents. Again, you will learn more about these positions once you talk to one of our recruitment specialists. Okay, they will explain this further to you guys. But we also have non-agent vacancies. So we have leadership and support positions. So we have open positions for we have vacancies for team manager positions, communication specialists, operations managers, and even other shared services positions. So if you're also not willing to get a full-time job in the company right now, we also offer on-site and virtual internships. Again, you can get more details about this once you contact our recruitment team. Okay, so what are the benefits that you will get in working for Alorica? This is also one of the things that we look for when we are applying for a certain company, right? I've been in Alorica for a few years now, and I would say that this company really has great benefits. So what are these? Okay, we offer night differential, okay, to employees who are tasked to work at night. Okay, of course, we provide rice allowance. We give a 13th month pay every end of the year. We have paid leaves. We will also give you holiday and overtime pays. And I'm also very proud to say that we now have a mental well-being program. So Alorica recognizes that mental health is very important, especially that we just experienced a pandemic. So this gives an opportunity for the employees to book a teleconsultation with one of our mental health professionals. Okay, and of course, upon regularization, we will also give you free medical insurance. So when will you become a regular employee in Alorica? So that's 6 months from your hire date. Okay, so there. And of course, we also offer COVID-19. We also had a COVID-19 vaccination program. So I was able to avail of this. During the pandemic, around maybe a year ago, so Alorica offered free vaccinations to all employees. So there, and I think that is really a very nice benefit because we all know that if you actually pay for a vaccine, that's going to be very expensive. And sometimes when you wait for the government to give you a vaccine, some people find that very inconvenient because of the working hours in the call center industry, right? So we are very happy and we are very grateful that Alorica also had a COVID-19 vaccination program. Okay, there you go. So right now, if you want to be a customer service representative or a technical support representative, we also have here a list of qualifications. So I know you are senior high school students, but I would say that you are still very eligible, okay, to get this job. So for the customer service representative role, as well as the technical support representative role, you only need to be at least 18 years old, okay? At least a high school or senior high school graduate, all right? So you make sure that you guys work hard and you have to really graduate, okay? And we accept applicants with or without BPO experience. So you don't need to have prior call center experience to apply. Okay, and you must be able to provide government IDs and government documents such as NBI, SSS, or PhilHealth. So this is pretty easy to get. You just make sure that you have an appointment. Okay, in NBI, go to that specified date to get your clearance. We also have here minimum technical requirements for work from home programs. So most of our accounts now, like what I said, they are also transitioning to a work at home setup. You should have a desktop or a laptop with AMD Ryzen 5 or Intel i5 as the processor and at least 4 gig of RAM. So, but some programs in the company actually provide equipment. Okay, so there. Your operating system or the operating system of your computer should be at least a Windows 10. And when it comes to your internet speed, it should be at least 10 to 20 Mbps. Okay, and it should be a wired internet connection. And some programs as well may provide internet allowance. So this is really good news. So what are the basic or what are the work descriptions of a customer service representative or a technical support representative? What is expected of you once you are hired in the company? So of course you have to answer or initiate a variety of real-time inbound and outbound voice and non-voice based services. Okay, and you have to verify and update customer information, respond to queries and resolves issues. Okay, you have to provide prompt resolution to customer inquiries by providing appropriate and accurate information. Now you don't have to worry about this because we also provide product training. Okay, so that you will know what kind of information you have to give to the customers. You also, of course, have to document and update records and databases in accordance with prescribed formats and required systems. So once you are now hired, we will also train you as to the specific tools that account is requiring, okay, so that you can also document and update certain records pertaining to the customer. Okay, provides transaction processing support to clients and a variety of transactions ranging from data entry, updating records, invoices and claims to verifying information and closing transactions. So in short, guys, it really depends on what account you're assigned to. So for example, a customer service rep or a customer service account is different from a technical support account. So the needs of those accounts actually differ. Okay, and you will know that once you're in product training. So there you go. So how do I get hired? What's the recruitment process? So some of you might ask that question, right? What do I do? Should I just make sure that I pass the interview, and should that assure me that I'm already hired? Okay, so I'm going to show you guys our recruitment process. All right, so we have a pre-screening, and Alorica uses a tool called Taleo, and this is what the tool that we use for information gathering, especially when you do online applications and you send a resume, or you put there your basic personal information. So we make sure that it gets stored in Taleo, okay, and this is what our recruitment specialists use before they call you up for the initial interview. Okay, through Taleo, our recruitment specialists would be able to see your basic information. All right. So of course, once they see your personal information there, they would call you, and that's now your language interview. Recruiters will call you. They will do. You will have to, of course, introduce yourself, and they're going to ask you some questions, and those questions will just really gauge your communication skills. Okay, so once you pass the language interview, you will now be endorsed to the next part of the recruitment process, which is the computer assessment. So this will measure your core skills, especially when it comes to typing, or how do you, when it comes to typing and other technical skills. All right, so I'm sure that as senior high school students, you are very well versed with computers. So once you pass the computer assessment, you will now have an HR interview. So this is a competency-based interview. So an HR interview would include questions related to customer service. How do you resolve a certain problem? Okay, how will you exhibit teamwork? Okay, so guys, make sure that you are also preparing answers related to those topics. Okay, so once you pass the HR interview, you will now be endorsed to the final interview, and mostly this is conducted by the people from operations, may it be the supervisor or the manager from the account that you're going to be assigned to. Okay, so they will now ask you program specific questions or questions related to the job itself. They may even have a job simulation, all right, or like a role play with you, just so that they can test your skills if you're really up for the challenge. Okay, there you go. And so after the final interview, you will now be endorsed back to the recruitment team for a pre-employment interview. So you should also prepare, the requirements that the company requires you to have, and other program-specific interviews. Okay, so this is also the time that the recruitment will ask you things about, how's your equipment at home? Is your internet connection okay? Or are you even vaccinated? Okay, do you have proof that you are vaccinated? So those type of things. Okay, that's the final stage of the recruitment process. So there you go. After you pass the pre-employment interview, then the recruitment team or the recruitment specialist will now inform you that you are hired, and you're gonna sign a job contract at this point. So again, it looks like a very long recruitment process, but it's actually a very fast, very efficient process. And take this as a challenge, guys. Okay, prepare as early as now. And I'm very positive that most of you here will really be hired by the company. What is your Alorica journey? What does it look like to work in this company? So you start in the company and you stay here for like 6 months to 1.5 years. So we have here, I started as a probationary employee and consistently performed and adhered in my daily attendance. So that is your focus as you start your journey with us. Make sure that you are adhering to the attendance policy and make sure that you are really meeting your goals. You are really performing as a call center agent. So at this point, you are now a customer service representative, or maybe a recruitment associate, or an IT desktop support associate. So again, these are just examples. All right. Now we move forward. So let's say you stayed in the company now for 1.5 years to 2.5 years. So by then you are already working very hard and you had a lot of opportunities to train and take on additional skill sets. So now you are promoted after 2.5 years in the company. So you are now a subject matter expert, okay? And then, or you are now promoted to a senior recruitment associate role, or you are now an IT support technician level 2. All right, so there. And then, of course, that doesn't stop there. You have now stayed in the company for 2.5 years to 3.5 years. So at this point, you have already improved your craft and you became better at it. And you were able to help other teams and was recognized by the company. So now you are again promoted to the team manager role, maybe a senior recruitment analyst role, and an IT security analyst. All right. And then again, it doesn't stop there. Once you stayed in the company for 3.5 years to 5 years, you are now knowledgeable about your capabilities. And not only that, you are now very confident. Okay. So you are now supporting a larger team, and you may also be tasked to represent some of our external functions, right? Like as a trainer, you may be asked to do some trainings outside of Alorica, or as an operations manager, you may be able to have projects, in accordance to, or you may have projects outside of Alorica, and you may work with other organizations, right? So you are now an operations manager or recruitment supervisor or an IT supervisor. So it only proves, guys, that there is indeed growth in this company. Okay, and I have proven that myself, not only my personal experience, but I also saw a lot of my friends grow professionally, okay, in this company. So now let's go to the Career Accelerator program. So this is the Microsoft and DepEd project. Okay, so what's the Career Accelerator program? So this program aims to provide senior high school students relevant and in-demand skills needed by industry partners. So right now, of course, DepEd and Microsoft is partnering with Alorica. So we would also provide you with the right programs or training so that you will be able to develop your skills needed in the company. Okay, so the Career Accelerator program would also link graduating students to employment opportunities with industry partners. So not only will we develop your skills, but we will also link you with employment opportunities, okay, once we see that you're already fit for the role. Now, this program would also empower DepEd and industry partners to make data-driven decisions using proper assessment tools, data analytics, and AI machine learning predictions. Okay, so of course, we also recognize that DepEd would really benefit, okay, from data-driven decisions using proper tools or even data and analytics that Alorica can provide to their organization, right? And of course, this program would expose the senior high school students to realistic job preview and infuse trainings and assessments that would hone their skills. So we don't only provide trainings, but we would also give you an opportunity to have like a realistic job preview, role plays, trainings that would include assessments, that's very similar to our real call center setting. Okay, so you would have this type of practical training as well. Okay, so that's the Career Accelerator program. So what's in it for you to join this program? Okay, what's in it for senior high school students who will join the program? So you will have access to recorded webinars. Okay, you will be granted learning materials that are convenient, cost-effective, and easy to use. Okay, you will also have the opportunity to have a reading assessment and even a call center tryout. Okay, you would be able to practice and determine if you are already on that level when it comes to reading and honing your English communication skills. All right, we will give you a grammar assessment so that you can gauge your basic grammar and sentence construction skills. All right, of course, part of training, we also include mock interviews, okay, in our training sessions. Okay, so it will gauge and practice the student's overall level of employability. So it also, this will also give you an opportunity to practice your interview skills. So how are we gonna score you, okay, when it comes to mock interviews or communications assessment? So our recruitment team is actually using this, what we call language proficiency grid. Okay, we will score you based on the language proficiency grid. So this grid includes assessments, or this, we would score you, okay, based on your grammar skills, your fluency, comprehension and reasoning, phonological control, and even your linguistic range or diction there. So this is the tool that our recruitment team will use to score you. Okay, so you will also have the opportunity to qualify for a skills enhancement training, and we will do this virtually. So this is a free training offered by Alorica. So this is really nice, guys, because you don't have to pay for this training. Okay, so we offer this to future job seekers that show the potential to become part of our workforce there. So again, SET or skills enhancement training focuses on enhancing the trainees' core competencies needed in working in an international BPO setting. So based on the language proficiency grid, if you score at least a 3.25 based on the recruitment interviews, you will now be qualified, or you can now be endorsed to SET, so that you can still polish your English communication skills. All right. And of course, not only that, we also provide direct placement in Alorica students who will receive job offer after passing the recruitment interviews. And of course, how do we join the program? So this is very simple. You must log in to teams.microsoft.com. So I'm sure that by now you're already very well versed, maybe, with Microsoft Teams. You need to change your password to proceed, and you must download Teams on your desktop or on your mobile phones. And then we have the link here. Make sure that you take a screenshot of this link. All right, this is a YouTube video, so it will give you the complete instructions on how to join the program. So we even have screenshots here. Okay, so you go to teams.microsoft.com, and then you download it, and then you install the app on your phone or on your computer. Again, the complete instructions on how to join the program can be found on this YouTube link. All right, so there you go. That ends our session. For more information, you may contact us, specifically Ms. Aya Mortel. She is the supervisor for our sourcing team. You also have here her mobile number and her email address. So again, guys, thank you so much for joining today's session, and I wish you all the luck, and you have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Ms. Arnoco. From that discussion, nalaman natin ang different BPO trends, different qualifications that you need to know, mga benefits and opportunities that you will be having once you decide to enter the industry. Ngayon naman, may videos kaming ginawa para sa inyo on how you can start accessing available Microsoft Office applications like Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and many more. We have also prepared an instructional video on how you can access the DepEd Student Kit kung saan makikita nyo ang resources and videos ng Career Accelerator program. Kaya bago ko ipakilala ang ating mga susunod na speakers, panoorin muna natin ang short video na to.
Para makuha ang BTS Student Kit, mag-login lang sa teams.microsoft.com gamit ang inyong DepEd Microsoft account. Kapag nakapag-login na sa Microsoft Teams, i-click lang ang ellipses na ito at i-type ang BTS Student Kit. Merong lilitaw na BTS Student Kit na app and i-click ito. And then mula dito, makikita nyo na ang inyong Digital Starter Kit or ang inyong Student Kit. Ang iyong student kit ang magbibigay sa inyo ng necessary links for you to download Office apps, Windows 10 or 11, Minecraft Education Edition, OneDrive, OneNote, Premium Templates, and many more. Kung kinakailangan nyo ng tulong sa kung paano i-download ang mga benefits na ito, maaari lamang na i-click din ang link na katabi nila. Meron din tayong link sa ating mga student programs and isa dito ang ating Career Accelerator program. If you click on this link, may kita nyo ang link sa orientation na maaari nyong panoorin. At para makuha ang inyong certificate sa programa na ito, sagutan lang ang post-event knowledge check form dito sa link na ito. Kapag ito ay naipasa nyo, makakakuha na kayo ng certificate. Pumunta sa office.com at mag-login gamit ang Microsoft account na binigay sa atin ng DepEd. I-type natin ang ating email and then ang temporary password. Sa mga first-time logins, kailangan natin palitan ng ating temporary password. So makikita natin itong dialog box na ito. So make sure na palitan natin ito to our original and a more secure password. Once done, kailangan natin i-secure ang ating account. Now, normally, hihingan tayo ng phone, authentication, ng email, or maglalagay tayo ng security questions. Kailangan natin i-fulfill ang isa sa mga ito. For this example, try natin i-authenticate ang phone para mag-secure ang ating account. So, piliin natin yung country, which in this case, the Philippines, and i-type natin ang ating registered mobile number. Dito sa registered mobile number, pwedeng i-text sa atin or itawag sa atin ang verification code. Kapag natanggap natin ang verification code, ita-type natin sa field sa ibaba. And there you go. Now, meron tayong access sa portal. Now, dito sa portal, makikita natin lahat ng benefits and lahat ng apps na pwede nating i-download. We can click on Install Office para mag-download lahat ng ito and magamit na natin sila.
Nakita natin sa short video kung ano yung iba't ibang student benefits that will support and empower you as you work in different learning environments. Mapa face-to-face man yan, online, or even the hybrid learning setup. And you know what? Hanggang sa magkatrabaho kayo or if you choose to progress, to pursue further education, magagamit nyo pa rin yung knowledge and skills nyo on Microsoft applications. Siguro, nagtataka naman kayo, sa paanong paraan ba namin magagamit itong Microsoft technology? Well, Microsoft actually has programs for students like you on skilling and employability. And to discuss that, we have the Education Programs Manager of Microsoft Philippines, Ms. Grace Ko. Pagkatapos mag-present ni Ms. Grace Ko, bibigyan tayo ng tips on how to utilize these available Microsoft tools to enhance our collaboration, communication, and productivity. This will be discussed by Microsoft's global training partner, Adentist Technologies, at papangunahan ng co-founder and general manager of Adentist na si Mr. Francis Hernandez. Again, allow me to welcome Ms. Grace Ko, to be followed by Mr. Francis Hernandez.
Hi everyone, my name is Grace Ko and I'm the Education Programs Manager supporting Microsoft Philippines. The Career Accelerator program is a skilling initiative of the Department of Education, Microsoft Philippines, and selected industry partners that aims to create more employment opportunities for senior high school students. Through this program, we hope to support senior high school students like you to acquire work-ready skills that are timely, relevant, and of course meets industry standards and requirements. Now, as you move forward, allow us to share to you some important announcements and resources for you to check out. Number 1, every DepEd student is entitled to a Microsoft 365 account. Microsoft 365 is a set of powerful tools and apps that's built for educators and students like you. Every DepEd student is entitled to access and download the latest and licensed version of Microsoft Office applications in up to 15 of your personal devices. So this includes the likes of Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft PowerPoint, and even Minecraft Education Edition. So make sure that you have your Microsoft 365 accounts activated and that you're using it regularly. If you still don't have a Microsoft 365 account, you may contact your school ICT coordinator. Now, we would also like to invite students to check out Microsoft Learn. Microsoft Learn is our free learning portal wherein you get to learn about the latest technical skills and emerging technologies that would help you prepare for your future. So bookmark aka.ms/learn. And for your appreciation, this is how Microsoft Learn looks like. So you get to access hundreds of resources and training pathways. You get to attend instructor-led courses at your own time, skill up on certain emerging technologies, and even take the pathways that would prepare you to get certified in the future. Now, we'd also like to invite students to check out LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a professional social platform wherein you get to connect with different industry practitioners and at the same time, ramp up your professional profile. So what can LinkedIn do for you students? First is you get to grow your network. You get to connect with individuals or professionals who are working in the industry that you would want to be part of. Second, you get to keep yourself updated with the latest information and news about the industries or companies that you would want to eventually join. Third, you get to skill up and hopefully you get to land your first job or progress your career. Now, allow us to share some tips as you start creating your LinkedIn profile. On LinkedIn, you get to connect with other members and other professionals, so it's very important that your profile is updated. Ensure that you have a professional photo uploaded and make sure that all of your details are as accurate as possible. Also on LinkedIn, it's quality over quantity. Only connect to people that you know and trust. Since you are sharing your employment information, it's important that we only share this to people who would find this relevant. Also on LinkedIn, you get to explore job opportunities that are available to you. LinkedIn ensures that it shows you the most relevant jobs that are targeted to your skill sets that's outlined on your profile. So you can create job alerts for industries, companies, or even roles that you would want to pursue eventually. And most importantly, on LinkedIn, you get to upskill and equip yourselves with the most in-demand skills needed by different industries. With the built-in e-learning platform called LinkedIn Learning, you can access over 16,000 courses on business, creatives, technologies, and it's taught by different industry experts. You can avail the 30-day free trial by going to linkedin.com/learning. And so we invite you to create your free account on linkedin.com and start your career journey today. Now, just to round up everything that I've discussed so far, number one, we invite every student to activate, download, and use your Microsoft 365 accounts. These tools are the exact same tools that most industries and companies are using in the workforce. So if you regularly use these tools and use them for your productivity, collaboration, and communication, you're actually preparing for the workforce. Number two, upskill and learn about emerging technologies. So again, we have two portals wherein you can actually ramp up your skills. Number one is Microsoft Learn. So bookmark aka.ms/learn. Number two, sign up for a free account at LinkedIn by going to linkedin.com and unlock your 30-day free trial of LinkedIn Learning at linkedin.com/learning. Now, after this, we would be inviting our global training partner from Audentes Technologies to share some practical tips on how to use these technologies that would help you prepare for the workforce. Now, later, if you would like to learn more about our programs for students in education, we have a Facebook page at facebook.com/msfteduPH. On behalf of the team at Microsoft, we wish you good luck and we hope that you have a productive learning session today.
Okay, so hi everyone, my name is Francis. Again, Grace, thank you for sharing information about LinkedIn Learning and at the same time Microsoft Learn. A lot of our participants, in particular senior high school, they will benefit from it, and I highly suggest our dear senior high school, please optimize that portal. So number one, my first question is, before we jump into doing the live demo, is number one, do you have Microsoft 365 readily available? Okay, if the answer is yes, good. All you need to do is to log in, okay? Log into your account and go to the upper right corner of your screen, click Office 365, click install, and after installation, you can now optimize the tools of Microsoft 365. In addition, you can also optimize the cloud application of Microsoft 365, okay? Now, if the answer is no, and wala pa kayong Microsoft 365, okay lang yan. What you need to do is this. Open any browser and type in aka.ms/cap register. Then click enter. Then it will bring you to a registration portal in which you can secure your Office 365 account. Okay? So, punta kayo sa portal na yon para makapag-sign up kayo and at the same time register and get your Microsoft 365 account. Again, applicable lang ito sa mga walang Microsoft 365. Okay? So, let's start with our presentation. So, here's my question. So, what comes into your mind when you see this logo? Okay? So, please optimize our chat box. Okay? Makikita yung chat box sa gilid. Okay? Just type in sa chat box natin kung ano ang pumapasok sa inyong isip pag nakikita nyo ang logo na ito. Microsoft Word. Okay? Comes into your mind. Okay, tama yan. Good. I agree. Okay? Sige, let's see. More students typing in. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, ha? Okay. So, let's type in. So, maybe most of you are thinking, if it's Microsoft Word, okay, yan yung ginamit ko sa aking capstone. Yan yung ginamit ko sa aking thesis. Yan yung sinasubmit ko kay professor or teacher ko whenever meron akong reaction paper. So, lahat po yun tama. But here's the thing. I'll give you some tips that you can optimize in using your Microsoft Word. Okay? So, two things. Number one, I'll be helping you how to create your very own resume. So, for the first timers who haven't done any resume yet, okay lang yan. Just watch. And if you have a laptop, you can follow. If not, okay lang. Everything is recorded and it will be you can access the recording at the end of the presentation. Okay, so as long as you answer the survey and you can get a copy, you can get a copy of the recording after you've done the survey. And the good thing about it, you can share that copy to your fellow students, at the same time to your friends who would want to also use the applications of Microsoft. Okay, so number one, we'll be focusing on creation of resume. Number two is sending of emails to different department and customers. Now, your question is, sir, ba't ganyan yung topic mo? Okay, the topic here is more on one. Yung first one is creation of resume. This is applicable for first-time applicants. Kung mag-a-apply ka pa ng trabaho, optimize the first one. Now, yung number two is, once na makapasok ka na ng trabaho, I want to teach you the basic or the fundamental things that could potentially happen to your job role. Okay? At least meron kang familiarity sa paggamit ng Microsoft Word. Okay? So, I'll be doing a live demo. So, creation of resume. Maybe some of you are thinking, Sir Francis, napakahirap naman ng resume creation. Hindi ko kaya yan. And baka maraming information ang i-require dyan. Okay? So, as long as you have Microsoft Word installed on your device, all you need to do is log in and open the application, in particular Microsoft Word. After opening the app, click New. Okay, so click this one, click New. Then you have here search for online templates. So this works for Word Online and this works for Word installed on your laptop. Okay, provided you have internet connectivity para magawa nyo to. Okay, so type in, for example here, resume. Then you may press enter. Now, you'll be seeing numerous number of templates of resume in Microsoft Word. Okay? So, hindi mo na kailangan magpunta sa any online browser or search engine just to find the right resume for you or just to find the right format of resume. Here, you can immediately find different types of resume that you can pattern or you can replicate. So, here, let's try one resume here. Okay, so unahin natin ito. Okay, so let's pick a resume here. This one. Okay, so professional title. Okay, let's click create. Then here, automatic you have a readily available template. Okay, so with the readily available template, all you need to do is to modify the content of the resume. Okay, so for example here, ang ginawa niya is the look and feel of the resume is, for example, pwede mong baguhin yan, F, tas nalibot, H, then here is I can place Francis, then I get Nandes. Tapos, just in case that you were able to work in the past, like for example, meron kayo in-applyan before na trabaho, tas nag-work kayo for quite some time, you can place your professional title here. Now, if you don't have any working experience, okay lang, no? So what you can do here is leave it blank. Okay. So about me. So here, you can write in short description of yourself. I would suggest when you're writing your description about yourself, focus on things that are relevant to the job role that you're applying for. At the same time, doon sa hinahanap ng company. Do not write irrelevant information regarding sa'yo. Like for example, I love this kind of sport. I love I love watching these types of movie. Do not include those kinds of information, no? Because sometimes yun ang common mistake ng mga job applicants, no, ng mga naghahanap ng trabaho or job hunters, no, naghahanap ng trabaho. So again, look for relevant information that the employer would want to see about you. Okay, then indicate your phone number, your email address. Additional tip for the email address, if you can have a professional looking email address, better. Okay, huwag tayong gagamit ng mga alias, like for example, dito sa puso mo at outlook.com. Okay, don't use that kind of information. What I suggest is you can maybe use your first name, last name at outlook.com. That could be your Microsoft email. And you can also, for example, you have your personal subscription of Office 365. That also works. Or if DepEd will allow you to still use your Microsoft 365 email, you can place it there. No? But again, it depends on which email you are actively using. Okay, so again, indicate the email that you are actively using. Then indicate the city. If you have LinkedIn profile, better. No? So the employers can view you, your historical like trainings, seminars attended, at the same time, ano yung mga activities that you do while you were in school. So that really would help you as an individual to get at least yung mga employer like a baseline of who you are. Okay. Then at the same time, for Skype, right now Skype it's not used anymore. It's not much used anymore. Mas ginagamit na ngayon yung Microsoft Teams. So again, I encourage use Microsoft Teams. So you can indicate kung ano yung email mo. Typically naman yung Microsoft Teams account nyo. Okay? Then website, if you have a website, go. But if you don't have any website, you can maybe post your social media account. But again, please be mindful when you're posting your social media account. You don't need to post everything and have it publicly available. I suggest i-private nyo, okay? Unless influencer kayo, you can have it in public. But if you are a private person, have it like yung setting in private mode lang, then you post information also that would also help you in terms of branding, okay? Why? Baka mamaya kasi you have a lot of rant about your family, your relatives, your friends, puro reklamo, no? Nakapost dun sa sa Facebook account mo. Iwas tayo doon, lalo na if you're applying for a job role. Sometimes kasi there are employers who's actually checking out information on your social media feed. Okay? Not everyone does it, but there are instances that employers does check your social media account. Okay? Then indicate the relevant job experiences here. If you have, place it. If you don't have any job experiences, number one, include trainings. Like this training, you can include it. And other trainings that you've attended in your school. And lahat ng training that you were able to accomplish using Microsoft Learn and LinkedIn Learning. Indicate nyo dito sa mga experience ninyo, no? Experience and skill set. Okay? So doon nyo lalagay yun. Typically, pag experience, if you participated in student government, pwede yun. If you did voluntary work, pwede rin yun. If you did, if you conducted trainings in the past, pwede yun. Or if you do couple of webinars on your own together with your on your own, or maybe mandated by school, place it here. So all related activities that you could think of that would be beneficial for the employer to see, please include it. Okay, so write a brief description, write the duration, and if you can place what's the result, or the impact that you were able to do in that experience. It might be a voluntary experience, or it could be a scholastic experience. Okay, so skills, just fill out the skills. Education, definitely place your education that you're a senior high school graduate. Then if you wish to add information, like for example other skill set that you have that you feel like you want to highlight. For example, you're good at Excel, you're certified in Excel, for example, you've taken a certification program on Excel or maybe PowerPoint, please have it indicated here. Ilagay nyo, para makita ng employer na, oh, okay, si Francis Hernandez pala applying for this job role and certified siya by Microsoft on Microsoft Word. Isa siyang Microsoft Office Specialist or Microsoft Office Associate, if I may say, Associate, or if you're an expert level, also include it. Okay, but again, do not fake anything on your credential, because employers right now, they're basically checking whatever you've written here. I-check nila yan and i-validate nila. And some employers are actually hiring third-party company to actually check for the information that you've indicated. Okay, so I suggest, again, be transparent in making your resume, and at the same time, accurate dapat yung data and information. Okay, then once you were able to draft and finalize your first resume, yung first time na gagawin mong resume, save it in Word para you can still edit and modify it. Then also save it in PDF format. Okay, so just press F12. Then you can select, okay, PDF. Okay, then click save. So for example, here I can place Francis Hernandez resume. Then what I'll do is I will click save. Okay, so when you save it, it will be saved as PDF format, and now you can send it to your employer. Okay, to your future employer. Okay, so with that, I'll go back to my presentation. Okay, so that is how you create your own resume. So number 2, sending of emails, different department and customer. Ito yung email blasting. So kunyari, you were mentioned, but maybe your boss, no, had mentioned, Francis, can you send me like an email? This is very urgent. I need to send 100 emails within the span of like 30 minutes. Can you do it? So initially, pag na-receive mo yung request na yun from your manager, pag nagtatrabaho na kayo, is parang mahirap siya, no? But in reality, madali lang siya. No? So let me teach you a technique how to do it. Okay? So I created here a sample email template. Okay? So I will start first with Microsoft Word. Okay? So wag muna kayong ma-confuse. Gamitin nyo muna is Microsoft Word. Okay? So ito yung Microsoft Word natin. Okay? So gawa ka ng header. Okay? Then gawa ka ng body. Then lagay ka sa ilalim ng iyong details, at the same time about the company. No? Privacy statement about your company. Okay? So indicate mo lang yun. Now, kung napapansin nyo, meron akong mga lines here. Later, I'll be removing those lines. No? Pag kinlik ko to, I can actually remove those lines. No border, and super linis niya. Right? But for now, for the purpose of demo, let's put a line. Okay. So typically, what I do is I insert table, then I indicate here, naglalagay ako ng insert table, and depende kung paano table ang gusto niyo gawin. Okay. So for me, ginawa ko are here, plain lang siya. Okay. So meron akong specific area here, another area here, and another open area here. So here, lalagay lang ako ng pinaka-poster. No? Para attractive yung email mo, meron kang poster. Next is, draft ka ng body of the letter or body of your email. Okay, so once na magawa mo na, blank po muna yung name kasi you have like, for example, 100 audience, you need to send an email. Okay, 100 audience. Then, naka-indicate dito, for example, yung email ko is, ano yung training program na kailangan ma-receive ng audience. And at the same time, kailan yung oras ng appointment. For example, yun yung body ng email ko. The rest are similar na in nature. Ibig sabihin, pare-pareho na sa mga a-attend na participant dito sa email ko. No? So, how do I send it to 100 people? Okay? So, what you need to do is click mailings. Okay? Then you will need to click Start Mail Merge. Okay? Ulitin ko po. Click mailings. Then click Start Mail Merge. Okay? Once you click that, you select email message. No? Email messages. Okay? So click that. Then this is how it would look like. Yan. Okay? So mukha na siyang email template. You will select recipient. Okay? Then use an existing list. But before that, you need to have a specific data or information of your customer or target audience. So I have here an Excel sheet. So gagawa tayo ng Excel sheet. So for example, ito yung aking Excel sheet, right? And so gawa tayo, Nashville. Ayan. So ito yung mga email ng recipient ko. So ginawa ko muna 3. But for example, 100 yung makakatanggap nito. So for example, the program is Microsoft PowerPoint, yung training program na in-applyan niya. Or siguro in-applyan niya is dito naman Microsoft Word. Dito naman is Microsoft Excel. For example, yan yung mga in-applyan niyo training program. Then yung schedule is 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m. For example, Wednesday. Here would be Tuesday, and here would be Monday. you need to do is save it. Okay. I'll do a list of participants. Okay, save it. Then go back to your Word document file. Okay. Then email recipient, use an existing list. Then all you need to do is type extension desktop. Here I select the Microsoft. Sorry, I'll select here Microsoft Virtual Accelerator Program, live demo, then I will select list of participants. Okay, so select mo lang yan. Okay, then sheet, and select the table, select the sheet. There you go. Then edit recipient list. Okay, so ito siya. So para makita mo kung sino-sino yung mga kasama dun sa magiging email mo. Okay, now insert tayo ng insert field tayo. Okay, so for example, name. So what you need to do is click here, then insert field name. Okay, so yan, para ma-capture niya yung name and information ng sisendan mo coming from your list kanina. Okay, so name. So para makita mo, pwede mo i-click yung preview. Yan. Okay, so automatic na siya. Ito yung una na nakapangalan, nagbabago siya, right? Then here, yung next, si Aris naman. Next, si Brian naman. Okay? So, kina-capture niya yon from your Excel sheet. Okay? Now, ano yung program? Click mo tong program, insert ka dito, hanapin mo program. Okay? So, now, kita mo na dito, ang program na in-apply niya is PowerPoint. Then, date and time, select insert field, time. Okay? So, the training will happen on Monday, 9 a.m. Now, you want to test whether working ba yung file mo. Okay? So, gawin mo lang is undo ka. So, ito yung mga yan. Name, yung naka-bold, program, and time. So, kapareho siya ng nasa listahan mo. Name, program, and time. Okay? Now, balik ka dito sa Word document mo. Okay? Na send sa customer. So, this is how it would look like. Right? So, now, before sending it, tanggalin mo muna yung border. Okay? I suggest you remove the border. Okay? Kagaya na sabi ko kanina. Para malinis yung tignan. Okay? Remove the border and look at the information. If it's clean. Okay? So, linisin lang natin ng konti before sending it to your customer. Because at the end of the day, what we want is our customer will receive a clean email. Now, this is how the email would look like. Okay? So, you have the name, the program, and the time. Kunyari, pinapasend nga ng boss mo sa 100 participants. So, again, dapat naka-prepare kang 100 list of names. Okay? So, now, before sending, pa-check mo muna sa boss mo if this email is good to be sent to your customer. Now, once approved, what you need to do here is go to mailings again, then preview results. Tignan mo kung tama yung information. So, name, yung program, tsaka yung time. So, tignan mo sa Excel sheet mo kung pareho. So, Francis Hernandez, PowerPoint, 9 o'clock, Monday. Okay? So, ganoon din dito. Francis Hernandez, Microsoft PowerPoint, 9 o'clock, Monday. Okay? So, parehong-pareho siya. Now, what you need to do, yung next naman, tignan mo kung halos okay din. So, just to validate. Okay? So, sa number 2, mag-next ka. So, si Aris Hernandez, Microsoft Word, 10 a.m. Tuesday. So, tignan natin sa Excel sheet. Aris Hernandez, Microsoft Word, 10 a.m. Tuesday. Okay? So, tama agad yung information. Now, pag na-check mo na yung una, pangalawa, pangatlo, tama, most likely, the rest of the information is tama because kinukuha niya information from the database. Okay? So, yung dito, from the Excel sheet or spreadsheet na nakasave mo. Okay? Then, you click Finish, Merge, then Send email message. Okay? So, send email message. Then, to, using your email. Okay? So, dito mo siya send sa mga email nila. Subject line. For example, the title is Microsoft Training Program. Okay? Then, all. Just click all. Then, you click OK. So, press mo lang yung OK. Automatic nagsisend na siya. Okay? Just be mindful before sending, your Outlook should be open or your yung mismong email mo, no, yung Microsoft Outlook mo. Okay? Now with that, check natin kung pumasok siya. Send items. Here. Add ko ng konti. Now here. So I was able to receive that meron tayong email. So yung email sa akin. Okay? Again, this is just a sample of my email. Okay? So with that, I believe I was able to teach you how to optimize your Microsoft Word, and in particular, ito yung paggamit ng creation of resume, at the same time sending emails to different department and customers. Okay, so that is Microsoft Word. Now, let's jump to our next topic. Next topic is I'd like to optimize naman a solution called PowerPoint. Now, before that, I'd like to here and move it here a bit and showcase PowerPoint. There you go. Okay. So I'd like to showcase PowerPoint. Now, how do you optimize PowerPoint? Okay, I'll be showing you quick tips. So when using and optimizing PowerPoint, I typically use PowerPoint as my storytelling tool. Okay, so nagiging storyteller ako with the use of Microsoft PowerPoint. Okay, sabi nga nila, be the best storyteller. Okay, so number one is starting with your own presentation, and number two, telling your own narrative or telling your own story. Okay, so how do you start with your own presentation? Maybe some of our individuals, ang ginagawa nila sa PowerPoint nila is meron silang dating template. Then yung template na ginagamit nila in the past is ginagamit naman nila yun paulit-ulit. No? I don't do that. No? What I do is this. Okay, this is my suggestion. So open a PowerPoint file. Okay, open any PowerPoint file. Okay, so this is your PowerPoint, or open any PowerPoint that you have available. Okay, wala, just open a blank PowerPoint. Then select new. Then you can select a template. Okay, so for example, pag mag-a-apply na kayo ng trabaho and at the same time pasok na kayo sa trabaho, then the management, you are in a sabihin nating research facility, no? And gusto nilang gumawa ka ng PowerPoint about a specific product, a specific product. So what do you need to do? So ask two things. Number one, if they have a readily available PowerPoint template. If yes, you can use that. Pero pag sinabi nila, wala. So ganito gawin nyo. Okay? So you can optimize and search. For example, you are into okay, try natin ito. Okay, maybe hanap tayo. For example, you're into okay, you're in a technology company. I think that's the better way to do it. You are in a technology company. Okay, technology company, in particular BPO, right? So here you can get a futuristic design. Okay, so try natin to. There you go. Now you have a readily available PowerPoint presentation. The good thing about this, the PowerPoint, is yung mga templates that you can get are may guide na siya. What is the information you can put there? Okay, so meron na siyang guide. Ayan, no? Right. So all you need to do is place your inputs. Okay, so meron na siyang flow. Inputs na lang yung kailangan mong ilagay. Okay, so this is the inputs that you can modify and change. Then once you've changed the information, have it saved. And two things, pag send mo sa customer mo, have it in PDF format. Kasi send mo sa teammates mo, have it in PowerPoint format so they can also modify it, or have it readily available on cloud, so at least they can have this product or your output mo optimized and can be modified within your group. Now, in any event that you have zero template, right? Wala kang ibang template na paggagayahan. Nag-start ka from scratch. So dito, gumawa ako ng sarili kong slide, for example. So what you do, typically, pag pinagawa ka ng boss mo or ng management, hey Francis, do me a presentation of of our company profile, and we'll be showing it to our customer. So what you can do is you can volunteer to your management, to your boss, and you just place first the title of the program that you wish to do, place a company background, so type in your company background. Next is indicate the awards and recognition that your company was able to achieve in the past years that you've been working there, or kahit wala ka pa yung mga achievement ng company na indicate mo lang so your customer will have at least a better understanding on what you do. Next is academic partners who are availing your services. Then you can start with, I always follow this format. Okay, baka makatulong lang sa inyo. SCQA, no? Always tandaan nyo yun, SCQA, scenario, challenges, question, and come up with an action or an answer. Okay, so yun lagi ang ginagawa ko whenever I have a presentation. It's always come up with your own story. Okay, so here ginawa ko is gumawa ko ng isang presentation about the potential challenges of a lot of companies. So here's the thing, no? Particular to sa mga upcoming graduates, no? So gawa ako yan. So the scenario is, gumawa ako. Again, this is what I did, and may couple of research din ito, no? So there's a COVID-19 pandemic resulted to increase in IT spend, tumaas daw yung paggastos ng mga IT company. Then napakabilis ng transformation ng mga company, and again, this is real-time Tagalog, no? So IT spend, and mataas yung naging spend nila for upgrades, no, for their company. Now, on the other hand, a lot of schools are having difficulty adapting to those changes. Ibig sabihin po, nag-update yung mga company. Yung mga schools, tinatry lang mag-update. Yun nga lang po, medyo, again, because of the limitations of budget, at the same time, the availability, no? The availability of existing funds to be used for the upgrade, hindi lahat available. No? So, i-challenge ng mga estudyante. No? So, the main challenge here is to, despite the spend and the spend of companies when it comes to IT infrastructure or upgrade, there is what you call impending skills gap. Because the skills gap is you have companies upgrading and schools are trying to adjust. So hindi mo kagad mong pag-meet yun sa unang taon. Okay, so yun yung pinaka gusto ko i-address. Now my question is, how do we address the skills gap? So I need to come up with an answer. So I came up with an answer. So here's my answer. Technology-assisted youth employment opportunity, or what you call Project Tayo. Okay, so again, that is what I've crafted. Then after that, gawa ka lang ng project proposal. What is it all about? Then what are the key steps to do it? Then showcase your solution. Walk them through about the methodology that you will use. Walk them through about the value add that you plan to have implemented. Okay. Then indicate also what other value add you can place. Then you indicate the total investment, okay, kung magkano ba bibilhin. But again, you need to ask your boss or management if that needs to be disclosed. And lastly, the benefit to your customer, okay? So with that, you can immediately post the question after your presentation to allow your participants to also clarify some of your presentation. Then indicate your website, your social media, your email address, and your mobile number, so that after your presentation, kung may gusto silang itanong ulit sa inyo, they can always contact you. Okay? Then you always tell your audience, or either your customer or your fellow teammates, after your presentation, always give them your i-recognize mo yung pagpa-participate nila and pag-spend nila ng time watching you. Okay? So with that, that is my tips for PowerPoint. I know this is a lot of information, and I'll be jumping to Excel in a bit. Okay? Okay, again, to summarize, how do you use your PowerPoint? From me, on a standpoint of a professional working in the corporate space for quite some time, and I want to teach you how to do it. Two things. I've taught you how to start your presentation from scratch. At the same time, you need to tell your story. Okay, so whenever you optimize PowerPoint, it's not just you sharing your PowerPoint slide. You need to come up with a way to tell a story so your audience can relate to your presentation. What comes into your mind when you see this logo? Okay. Okay, place it on your chat box. What does this logo mean? What comes into your mind? People. Okay. Connection. Good. Collaboration. Correct. So this is Microsoft Teams. Okay. Now with Microsoft Teams, I'll be showing a couple of functions of Microsoft Teams, but I'll be focusing on two again. Okay. And kung napapansin nyo, I'm focusing on features on Teams that would be very beneficial when you start to apply or maybe work for companies na. Okay? Because the goal of the program is we want you to be familiar. At the same time, we want you to optimize these products that you have now para when you go to corporate or when you go apply to look for work, you're very much familiar with this one. Lalo na pag tinanong kayo ng mga company that are you familiar with this kind of product? Are you familiar with this kind of application? You can confidently say, yes, you're familiar with it. Okay? Pero syempre, best part, if you can be certified on different applications that I mentioned. No? But if you are not yet into leaning towards certification, wala pa sa roadmap or sa plans ninyo, okay lang, at least nakapark lang yung idea, no? That you will be taking certifications in the future. Okay? Focus on two things. The collaboration, it will basically help you increase your productivity. Okay, so number one, I'll be teaching you how to basically manage your project. And number two, how to set up meetings and sync up calls with your manager, with your teammates, and with your colleagues. Okay, so I'll be showing my Microsoft Teams. Okay, so this is my Microsoft Teams. As you can see in my Microsoft Teams, I'd like to start first is how do I get here? Okay. So all you need to do is log in to download Microsoft Teams. Okay, so open your Edge browser and select download Microsoft Teams or type in download Microsoft Teams. Then click download. Okay, press download. After you click download, install Microsoft Teams. Automatically, you can use your Microsoft Teams now already, but you need to log in your credential. So typically, companies, they have Microsoft Teams, and basing from their credential, it's basically your email address. Once you've logged in your email address and password, you can now log into your Microsoft Teams. Now, as you can see with my Microsoft Teams, you see many groups here, numerous number of groups. So what I'll do is I'm gonna hide all of this. Okay, I'm gonna hide all of this. Okay, so I'll just check this one and have it hide. Okay, so I'm gonna hide everything, right? So at least so this can help you in terms of visibility, removing the clutter. Okay, so let's just remove each and every one. I'm not actually deleting it. I'm just hiding it. So for everyone's benefit, so my Microsoft Teams will look seamless and easy to manage. Okay. Okay. There you go. Yes. Okay. I've left to school. Okay. So typically we have numerous number of customers. These are academic institutions who are partnering with us to do trainings and certification. But I'll be showing a simple case scenario just in case you start to get employed. Okay, so the context would be you've applied in a company and they're willing to hire you, but you need to have the competency in in Microsoft Teams, the basics. Okay, so basically you can ask your teammate, do we have a team? Do we have a Teams group? Yes, no. If zero, and if you have Office 365 account and they gave you an access in Microsoft Teams, ask your administrator if you can create an account in Microsoft Teams. If yes, good. If no, you can ask permission. So for example, they've mentioned yes, they are allowing you to create a team in Microsoft Teams. So here, click the logo underneath, lower left corner, create team. Okay. So for example, I will create team others. For example, the name of the team is new hires. Okay. Or again, this is just an example, right? ABC company. Okay. Example, that is the name of the company. Again, ABC company. Then you can click private. Do not select in public, right? In private. Because if you create in public, everyone in your company can see it. No? In particular, if they're not the target audience, it's not okay to do or to create a team in which it's visible to everyone, but the intention is it's within the group. No? So it might confuse other teams why you are creating a new team and trying to have it in public. Okay, so again, my suggestion, have it on private. Then click next. After clicking next, type in your members. So for example, here I have different group members. For example, Therese. For example, I have here Arden. Sorry, Arden. Then I have here Felice, and I have here Therese. Okay. So for example, I will add them. Then I will select, for example, Felice as my co-owner. Then close. Automatic, this is my group. Okay. So I will just chat them. They might be confused. Okay. So I'll just chat them. This is just an example because these are basically my colleagues and teammates. Okay. This is just an example for demo purposes. Okay. Then I'll have it posted here. Demo. Here. Click send. Again, this is just an example. So for example, I'll be having a new team within the organization. So what I can do, I create an announcement. When I create an announcement, I need to, number one, have it labeled as important. Then I can create the subject. Okay. So for example, my subject would be new hires, training. This is the new group, and this is the announcement that I will be placing. Please reach out to our IT admin if you want to request to avail training programs for new hires. Yeah. Then you can have it as an announcement. Okay. Then have it posted. Okay. So typically, people will respond to you. Okay. Now, if the project would be focusing on training program, so this could be your group chat, okay, your GC. At the same time, this is like your simple project management, Microsoft Teams. No, you're optimizing Microsoft Teams for basic project management because all of that data you can see it here, and you can create different subgroups or what you call sub channels. Okay, so for example, if you wish to add channel, this is for example for the availability on weekdays. For example, you have a weekdays group, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then, for example, here, description, standard, okay, I mean private. Then I'm placing it in private because I don't want everyone in my team to be included in this specific channel. Channel, it's like subgroups. Okay. Then I select create. And there you go. I need to invite people within my organization. For example, I've invited Felice. For example, she will be part of the weekdays channel group. I add her. Then I can close. Now you will see here, you have the general channel, like all the individual people within your company that you've invited are located here. Now the subgroup, this is like the subgroup or what you call channel. This is within the group. If you want to create pockets, like pockets of group or smaller group within the bigger group that you have in your company, this will really work a lot of, this will really help you in terms of managing those kinds of expectation. Okay. So again, that is Microsoft Teams in terms of usage for basic project management. Okay. Next, how do I optimize Microsoft Teams in other way? Okay. As a student, you've been attending a lot of online classes, right? Similar to that, as working in corporate, you have numerous number of, you don't call it classes, but you more of call it meetings. No? Either you call it corporate meeting, you call it admin meeting, or maybe sync up call, or maybe team huddle. It depends on you, how your company calls it. But typically they call it sync up meeting. Sync up meeting is you meet maybe once a week or twice a week to discuss certain points of the company, and it is basically basing on your KPI or key performance indicator, kung ano ang hinihingi sa'yo ng kumpanya. Yun yung key performance indicator. For example, they're looking for sales, kailangan meron kang sales output and ma-update mo yung boss mo every sync up. So pag na-request nila is sync up is once a week, you're good. Now, how do you do it? Okay. Now, all you need to do to be able to create a meeting, just go to calendar. Okay. Go to calendar. So for example, my next meeting would be, again, this is just an example, it's 8 a.m. Okay. I'll have a meeting 8 o'clock. So these are my calendars tomorrow. These are my calendar of meeting. Okay. So here, I'll just accept them. So for example, I have meeting 8 o'clock. I send the name of the individual. Okay. Then for example, I'll have sync up call. Then name of the person, Francis Hernandez. Then I place the time from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, for example. Then I get the dates. That would be 14, Tuesday. Then I have here like agenda of the meeting. Us, the marketing initiatives of the company. It short term, long term, funding needed. Okay, so for example, that would be the agenda. Okay, so I have here two different agenda. Okay, so I'll be placing numbers here. Okay, oops, sorry. So these are the talking points. Okay. So short term, long term. Okay, good. For example, this is the meeting invites that you've created. Okay, in the calendar. Okay. So again, check the title, the email, the date, the time, and is it all day? Is it recurring? You have optional friends who plus join or optional colleagues, or it's just you and your boss. Okay. So for example, he requested this, click send, and he will automatically receive your email, and from your end, here's the link for your meeting call with your boss or manager, or maybe your colleague. Okay, so that is how easy to use Microsoft Teams when you jump to working in the corporate space. And hopefully, we'll see you in the corporate space, particularly if you will be working in the IT sector or maybe in the BPO, PPM sector. We do hope that we meet you by any chance, and maybe we can collaborate in some projects. Okay, so let me go back to my presentation. Okay, so again, that is Microsoft Teams. I was able to discuss simple project management and setting up meetings and sync up calls using Microsoft Teams. Because again, I believe you're all familiar with Microsoft Teams already as a student, but what we're sharing here is how to prepare your future, in particularly for your job opportunities that soon to happen. Okay. My next slide, I'd like to discuss also. This is my last quick tip for every senior high school who's watching from Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. We want you to be employed, we want you to secure a job, and we want you to be successful in life. Okay, so these are the three portals that I commonly monitor here in the Philippines. Number one is Indeed.com. Okay, number two, Microsoft Learn or LinkedIn Learning. Then lastly, Glassdoor. Okay, what's the main difference of these three portals? Okay, number one, Indeed.com. It's intended for job posting. So you would identify how many job opportunities are in the market for that job role, okay, or that competency. Next is Microsoft Learn or LinkedIn Learning. This is more of skills building. So for you to be good at something, okay, so let's build that skill set. And lastly, Glassdoor. This is more of it's like a reference material or reference portal that you can optimize just in case you wish to view what would be the potential salary range for your job role. Okay, so let me do a quick live demo of this. Okay, so I'll open my Microsoft Edge browser. So for example, I type here Excel. Okay, I just type Excel. I'm looking for competency in Excel. Now I just went to Indeed.com. Okay, I type Excel. I modified it to Quezon City because that's where I live, in Quezon City. Then I select, okay, find jobs. No, I click find jobs within 25 kilometers. I can bring it down, I can lower it down. You can have it 5, 10, 15, 25. I just placed 25 kilometers. Roughly 25 kilometers, it's just 30 to 1 hour drive. No? If you're commuting, sometimes it varies. It could reach between 30 minutes to an hour or maybe more depending on traffic. Okay, so here, imagine I just type Excel, Quezon City, I find jobs, and right now I have 14,935 job opportunities for Excel. Okay, so what I'm saying here is with proficiency in Excel, you can definitely have numerous number of potential job availability. Okay, so you just need to filter which one would best fit your credential for senior high school graduate. Okay, so again, this is Indeed.com. Next is Microsoft Learn. Okay, Microsoft Learn is a free portal of Microsoft that you can optimize. For example, you would want to learn more things about Excel. All you need to do is to sign in. Okay, when you sign in, you can use your Microsoft account. Okay, once you sign in, use your Microsoft account, so you can at least monitor your progress whenever you are studying a specific topic here in Microsoft Excel. So for example, I type here Excel, then I press enter. Then for example, I want to understand Excel automation in Power Automate for desktop. Okay, I click that. Then I got here Excel automation in Power Automate. So this is 1 hour and 8 minutes. So it's fairly fast to finish. I mean, it's fairly quick. You can finish it in less than 2 hours. Then you can click start and you can start reading content and understanding different material in Excel automation. So you have here simple videos, at the same time simple narrative that you can basically browse and at least have a better understanding about Excel. And lastly, what I want to showcase also is Glassdoor. Okay, Glassdoor is the last portal that I want you to consider remembering. Okay, so for example, you wish to work as a customer service representative in one multinational company, in particular BPO or BPM company. Okay, then you type in customer service representative, then type in Philippines, and you click search, and you will have here different names, different ranges of salary. And here, so you can see here, one 18,000, other one 18,000, other one is senior customer service representative at 36,000, and the other one is 20,000. But again, it's up to you. Okay, this might not be as 100% accurate, but it's a good baseline of how much salary does a customer representative earns in particular. But again, click the expectation, like the salary and the requirement. You might be looking on like senior or managerial roles. I suggest look at fresh graduates, or look at companies that are not asking for BPO or maybe BPM experience, so you get a better chance of getting in. Okay, so again, these are just basis for your job application, and at least you would know what would be the salary range for that job role. So let's look for bookkeeper. Bookkeeper. So for example, Philippines bookkeeper. So if you want to be a bookkeeper, this is the salary of a bookkeeper here in the Philippines. So these are just salary range. I'm not saying this is fixed already, but this is more of a range. Okay, so it's between 8,000 to 38,000, but on average, it's ranging around 18,000 pesos. Okay, in terms of salary. Okay, so here, office manager. So let me go back to my presentation. So this is my quick tip for Indeed.com, Microsoft Learn, and Glassdoor. Okay, so for more information, like the trainings that we deliver and the times we have, like free training that we provide, please check out our website, and at the same time, please email me if you have additional information that you wish to be to clarify, or if you want to avail our training services and certification services here in the Philippines. Again, my name is Francis, and I would like to thank our audience for attentively listening to our presentation, to my presentation, and Miss Grace Co's presentation earlier. So I do hope that you've learned a lot, and I know this is too much information to digest, but the good thing with our session for today, it's recorded, and you can always watch, rewatch, and even share the video of this program. Okay, so at the end of the session, please answer our post survey, and you will get the link, or the link for the recording, and you can share it to your peers, friends, and neighbors. Okay, if they're studying in DepEd, please share the video to them. Okay, so with that, thank you and have a great day. Bye.
And that was an insightful presentation by Ms. Grace Cole and Sir Francis. Thank you very much to both of our speakers. Who would have thought na may mga learning portals na madali nyong ma-access as you build your pathway to career employment? So, if you want to build your credentials, make sure to check out Microsoft Learn and LinkedIn Learning. As discussed by Sir Francis, you've also had a glimpse of how to prepare yourself for future employment, and that is by optimizing your DepEd Microsoft 365 accounts. What about our dear students? Ano ba yung mga dagdag kaalaman na natutunan nyo today? You can go ahead and share that in our chat box. We highly appreciate the things that you have learned about Microsoft and how you can be employed after senior high school. Ngayon, alam nyo na ang mga industry trends, Technology skills of the future at ang ins and outs of Microsoft 365. I guess it's now time to hear from our partners. Up next is our Learning Circle, where we get to hear from industry practitioners as they share their knowledge in their field of expertise. Let me call on our Learning Circle facilitator, Mr. PJ Lanot.
Hello everyone, I am PJ and this is The Learning Circle. We have 4 panelists for today. At ang unang-una dyan, Director Abraham, please kindly introduce yourself.
Hello, magandang araw PJ, saka ang ating mga senior high school students na nanonood dito. Ako si Abram Abanil, ako yung Director for the ICT Service Department of Education. So kami yung nag-handle ng mga distribution ng lahat ng mga computers, pag-connect ng internet sa lahat ng mga schools, saka pag-deploy yung mga software applications dito sa ating Department of Education.
Director Abraham, thank you for your service and thank you po for being with us. Now we have another, Miss Aya. Anong industriya po kayo at anong kumpanya niyo po?
So I've been in the recruitment industry for 10 years and now I am a recruitment supervisor handling external relations and academic linkages in Alorica, Philippines. So hello, hi everyone.
Thank you very much, Miss Aya. And now we have Miss Isang. Miss Isang, hello.
Hi PJ at magandang araw sa ating mga senior high school students, teachers, and parents na nakikinig ngayon. My name is Clarissa Segismundo. I'm from Microsoft Philippines and you can call me Isang. So ako ang in charge sa pagtulong sa ating mga teachers and students sa paggamit ng tamang paraan ng Microsoft technology sa classroom.
And our last panelist, hello Sir Francis. Good day po sa inyo.
Thank you, Sir PJ. So my name is Francis from Odentes Technologies. And what I handle and the job role ko sa Odentes Technologies is I handle the sales and operation of the company. And at the same time, what do we do? Basically, we focus on learn, practice, and certify. So we help candidates and graduates dun sa learning phase para matutunan yung concept in IT. Then the practice phase is we allow our candidates to do exam simulation in preparation for the examination. And lastly, for the certify phase is we allow our candidates of taking the examination to have at least an idea how the examination would look like, and we give them tips on how to take the examination, like for example the duration of the examination and how many minutes to answer per question to at least give a higher chance to our candidates to pass the certification program.
Now we are moving forward to our first question, and this first question goes out to all the panelists. Miss Aya, what are your thoughts? Pag sinabing senior high school graduates and employability, can we use that in the same sentence? Can senior high school graduates indeed be employed? Miss Aya?
It should be hand in hand. So that's the goal, no? So the senior high school graduates, we expect them as industry partners to be job ready. Kasi nga dumaan na sila dun sa work immersion at saka sa added tracks ng curriculum. So we also think and we believe that they are also the solution to job mismatching. Kasi may added ng 2 years 2 years in senior high school students. So more opportunities to either have a college degree or employment with us. And at the same time, once they practice those professional skills, they can be, contributors in the labor force.
Thank you, Miss Aya. So pwede pala talaga ma-employ ang mga senior high school students in your industry, particularly your company. Your thoughts naman po, Miss Isang?
Thank you PJ. Alam mo, kapag naiisip ko yung salitang senior high school students at employability, yes and no ang sagot ko dyan na pwede natin silang ikabit. Actually, pag naiisip ko siya, opportunities at digital skilling ang words na pwede kong i-associate dyan. Bakit? Dahil sa ating mga graduates ngayon, marami tayong opportunities from the employers pagdating sa skills na hinahanap nila sa graduates. But sadly, hindi naman lahat ng graduates natin may ganong skills. Kaya may opportunity tayo na tulungan ang ating mga senior high school students to learn and acquire those skills, which are, these are the words, relevant and updated. At the same time, may opportunity ang ating mga senior high school graduates, even junior high school graduates, na i-prepare nila yung sarili nila para mag-attend ng mga trainings, take advantage nila yung mga resources na ibinibigay sa kanila ng DepEd in partnership with Microsoft and other industry partners that we have in the Philippines. Thank you, PJ.
Isang napakaganda no na relevant and updated. Okay po. Now, Director Abraham, from DepEd itself, what are your thoughts po? Pwede po ba ang mga senior high school graduates and junior high school graduates, pwede po ba silang ma-employ? What do you think po?
Well, when it comes to senior high school, no, ang una ko talagang maisip is yung challenges na naharap ng Department of Education with getting K-12 curriculum approved. This was actually more than 50 years in the making, no? Because prior to the World War II, napag-isipan na talaga ng gobyerno natin na mag-shift tayo to a 12-year education cycle from 11 years, no? And historically, ang ginawa ng ating gobyerno is tinanggal yung grade 7, ginawang grade 6 hanggang grade 6 yung elementary, and supposedly magdagdag ng 6 years, 3 years of junior high school and 3 years of senior high school. Pero nagkaroon ng gera noong World War II at hindi natuloy yun. Ang natuloy lang was itanggal yung grade 7. And since then, nagiging 10 years lang yung education cycle natin, no? Instead of yung prior to the war na 11 years. So it was a very, very big achievement para sa ating education system na nagawa nating 12 years ang ating education cycle, no? And it's ang challenges natin did not stop with having that approved, no, na nagiging 12 years ang ating education system, but continually we are facing yung challenge na ano natin yung culture ng ating employers, because sa ngayon a lot of our employers would still prefer college graduates, no? Attention talaga ng ating K-12 curriculum is really para ang ating mga senior high school students would no longer need to go to spend for 4 years of college education to be employed. And with this, being in the IT sector, ang isa talaga sa nakikita ko isang potential ng digital skills, no, in terms of empowering students to become more employable. And of course, andito yung power of certification. A lot of our, especially yung mga mga companies natin that are technology oriented, are very, very much open to hiring students who have certifications, no? Rather than waiting for them to have college graduate. Ang importante talaga is to have certification, to have the skills needed to grow in that particular organization.
Thank you po, Director Abraham. So, ibig sabihin, hindi lang po sa students, kundi sa culture ng hiring companies or hiring industries lang po pala. Thank you very much. May natututunan po ako every single day. At ito naman po, Sir Francis, what are your thoughts? Kayang-kaya po ba sa industriya nyo?
Hi, Sir PJ. So, salamat sa tanong po, no? So, with regards to that, it depends po sa role na ina-applyan ng estudyante, no? So, basically, if we are referring to definitely for senior high school graduate, kasi po may ibang opportunity for senior high school, and meron po tayo ibang opportunity rin po sa college level student po, no? So, basically, if ang role naman po na ina-applyan po ng mga estudyante po is more of entry-level roles, right now po may mga kumpanya na, particularly sa mundo po ng IT, BPO, and DPM po. No? So tinatanggap po ang senior high school. Particularly lang po, you need to have that skill set required by the company. No? Particularly, kunyari po, ang role na in-applyan mo is technical support. You need to have that technical skill set readily available so that the employers would at least recognize or consider that you can be the potential candidate po doon. Now, kung ang job role naman po hinahanap is more of inbound and outbound call, kunyari po sa sales, no? So, dapat meron kang ganong skill set din na akma dun sa ina-apply mong trabaho. So, culturally speaking, in the Philippines, we're getting papunta doon, no? Yung pagtanggap sa senior high school sa employment. Because traditionally po talaga kasi tama po yung nabanggit ni Director Abram kanina that in the past, no, ganun po yung approach, no, nagbago yung curriculum natin from grade 6 moving towards to high school. So again, as mentioned, culturally speaking, papunta pa lang po tayo doon, and may mga kumpanya na pong kahit papaano is follow po sa trend na gano'n, that senior high school, they give opportunity, and at the same time, meron ding specific opportunity po sa ating mga college level student. Okay? So thank you, Sir PJ.
So the future is bright for junior and senior high school graduates. May chance tayong lahat. And for this next question, we all know na natapos na natin yung last 2 years ng kaputukan ng pandemic. And of course, we have learned a lot and we have adjusted from that lifestyle, that culture. And moving forward, ano naman po yung mga learnings natin, mga thoughts natin post-pandemic era? Miss Aya, you go first.
Post-pandemic. So learnings namin, specifically in Alorica, everything now is transitioned to digital, to virtual. So changes, number one, top in mind would be increase in remote work setup. So yung mga graduates natin ngayon, there is an opportunity to alternatively work from home and work on site. That's one. And then yung mga available online courses natin, lahat sila available na online. With Alorica, we do that. And then yung employer support, nag-increase siya when it comes to physical, financial, and mental. So like in Alorica now, we have established a mental well-being program. So lahat ng mga nangangailangan na like yung kailangan ng tulong when it comes to their mental health, they can reach us 24/7. We have this hotline in Alorica. So we're very happy na yung changes, actually it's an opportunity for us to change and to enhance pa yung mga meron kami na programs in the company.
Thank you, Miss Aya. And now po, Miss Isang, your thoughts?
Alam mo, PJ, over the last 2 years na nag-pandemic tayo, nakita natin kung ano yung mga iba't ibang paraan na ginawa ng DepEd at ng mga companies to address the situation. Halimbawa, ginamit natin ng technology to ensure that we are able to deliver education to our students. Maski na hindi na talaga kayang mag-face-to-face, nakita namin at na-witness ko yung lahat ng hirap at innovation na ginawa ng DepEd to ensure that education is delivered. Iba't ibang modalities Halimbawa, may printed, may online, biglang may hybrid tayo, ngayon may high-flex, tapos may blended learning, and that will continue. When it comes to the workplace, ako, bilang isang empleyado sa Microsoft, hindi namin nagawang pumasok sa opisina pero nagawa pa rin namin ang aming trabaho because of technology. And I think digital acceleration will continue to stay even if there's no more lockdown, there's no more pandemic, right? Ang maganda, yung value ng technology, nakita talaga ng mga companies ngayon. And it's not only pandemic that we need to address when you're using technology. It's the traffic, it's the high cost of gasoline, right? It's how valuable our time is. And because of the different arrangements sa workplace, for example, may work from home na tayo, inayos na rin nila yung structure at layout ng mga opisina in such a way na kaaya-aya pa rin na pumasok sa opisina, di ba, kung ayaw mo sa bahay. Pero may flexibility ka bilang employee to choose where you want to work, where you want to learn. And because that's made possible because meron kang technology at meron kang internet. Pagdating sa training and learning what you needed to do, hindi ka na rin limited sa physical facilities or libro, correct? Kung gusto kong matuto at gusto kong malaman bilang estudyante or bilang empleyado, biglang nagsilabasan lahat ng online content. Na, to be honest, even before the pandemic, nandyan siya, pero ngayon mas na-amplify siya at na-realize ng mga tao, pwede naman pala akong mag-self-learn, diba? Ang dami ko palang available resources and content na makikita ko sa online. Nakita rin namin na ang trend ng paghanap ng mga trabaho ng mga top 10 jobs, in the past 2 years, top 10 jobs that you can find on LinkedIn are related to digital skills. I would name some, right? Customer service specialist, data analyst, digital marketing specialist, financial analyst, graphic designer, and meron din tayong mga heavy sa technical skills like software developer, IT administrator, diba? And IT support. Ngayon, pag titingnan mo yung mga skills na hinahanap ng employers ngayon na nabanggit ko, 3 or 4 doon are heavy on technical skilling. And I think it's a wake-up call, not just for the students, but also for academic institutions, diba? And those who are providing trainings and skilling opportunities for either our graduates or dun sa mga may trabaho na naghahanap din ng ibang trabaho kasi nawala na yung trabaho nila dati. Ang changes is talagang papunta na tayo sa digital skills na hinahanap ngayon sa ating mga workforce, right? Ang sabi nga, di ba, over the next 5 years, 149 million jobs will be created. And these are new tech jobs that are around the areas of software development, cybersecurity, and machine learning. So think about that. Thanks, PJ.
Thank you, Ms. Aya. Thank you, Ms. Isang. So, ibig sabihin, we have been challenged in the last several years, pero marami palang learnings at mas marami ring opportunities. All we have to do is maximize those opportunities. Aya, alam ko naman at alam nating lahat na may mga important skills qualifications ang inyong company, ang inyong industry. Like for example, yung specific technical skills, yung communication skills, so on and so forth. Pero ano ba yung mga unwritten, mga unspoken, yet important qualifications in selecting a fresh grad to join your company or your industry? Ms. Aya?
Okay, so non-negotiable sa Alorica yung non-negotiable yung ethical decision making. So we look for people that has ethical decision making and integrity. So we look for candidates who don't compromise their values, and at the same time they can still decide on every circumstance. No. Second would be time management skills. Very important yun. Innovation and creativity, and I think this is very important, yung strong work ethic. So we look for candidates who are very committed to quality work and at the same time has the ability to learn and to improve themselves.
Director Abram, ano naman po yung mga impactful programs po na inimplement ng DepEd to help our students become more future ready? Yung future-proof sila. Director Abram.
Well, unang-una ang pinaka-importante is yung K-12 curriculum natin, no? So integrated dun sa ating curriculum ngayon is yung mga digital literacy skills. As early as grade 4, ini-introduce na natin ang ating mga bata sa mga productivity tools like Microsoft. And then pagdating ng grade 7, tinuturuan natin sila ng mga basic programming skills. And then from grades 8 to up to grade 12, in-expose natin sila sa mga multimedia skills that they will find useful, no, when they graduate. Ngayon, during the pandemic, marami kaming mga programs that we implemented that are going to become very, very crucial in the future. Now, we were able to make education resilient using these programs, but I believe na magiging important din sila when we focus now our attention on the quality, improving the quality of education. No? So examples of this is yung DepEd TV, where marami na tayong mga nagawang mga video lectures, no? That students can later on make use of even with as an added resource, no, para ma-review nila ng sarili nila yung ating mga competencies kung saan sila mahina, no. And then of course there is DepEd Commons, which is part of the Open Educational Resources Initiative, no. Ang DepEd TV dito ginagawa namin centrally lahat ng mga competencies, so parang standardization of the delivery of education, no. Whereas dito sa DepEd Commons, it's a platform for open educational resources which allows teachers to localize and contextualize their respective learning resources. So dito may publish dito sa ating DepEd Commons yung mga OERs that are contextualized para sa ating mga respective communities at sa ating specific needs sa mga kabataan, no? And then finally, andyan yung DepEd Learning Management System, which I believe will be a very, very important tool in the future for ensuring yung quality of education, no? So dito sa learning management system natin, while yung DepEd Commons is unstructured, no, parang library of resources siya, ang DepEd Learning Management System is structured learning naman. So dito makikita ng ating mga kabataan kung saan sila mahina with regards to the curriculum, aling competencies sila mahina, and then automatically makikita din kung anong mga learning resources na pwede nilang i-review para maintindihan yung respective competencies kung saan sila mahina.
Again, Director Abraham, thank you for your service and thank you for doing this for the future of the Filipino youth. Sir Francis, nabanggit natin maraming beses yung reskilling, yung certification, Pero gaano po ba talaga ka-importante yung skill certification at paano po ba ginagamit at nilileverage ng mga employers yun ngayon, sir?
Okay, thank you, Sir PJ. Siguro lagyan ko ng konteksto para saan ba yung certification, no? Basically po, ang nangyayari po kasi lalo na ngayon with the improving sa technology. In particular po, dumadami yung investment. Like for example, internet is improving, roads is improving, infrastructure is improving, telecommunication is improving. So with that po, it drives progress, and lalo na po ngayon, inaalaw na yung foreign direct investment, right? Particularly 100% ownership, in particular to some areas here in the Philippines, no? I'm not saying all, industry, but certain industry inaalaw na po yung 100% ownership ng foreigner. What does that mean? So if it is allowed, in other countries po kasi talagang heavy sila sa certification, okay? Which means that is a proof of your skill set and your competency, okay? So with that, since pumapasok yung mga foreign company in the Philippines, kung maghahanap sila ng empleyado, ang kanilang basis of knowledge is not actually your scores in your quizzes. It's about the competency that you've passed, a specific standard practice, in particular yung technology. And yun nagiging baseline nila, number 1, for your salary grade. Number 2 is nagiging basis nila yan for your specific job role, yung tinatawag na job fit. Okay? And lastly, tinitignan nila dito is yung sama-samang skill set na meron ka, or yung combination of skill set na meron ka, para at least they can also look and optimize your certification or yung credential na meron ka. Sometimes kasi, Sir PJ, ginagamit ng company yung mga credential na yon as a means to attract more customers. Like for example, in the BPO industry, pag pinapakita nila that their staff, their employees are certified in a specific technology, one good example is Microsoft. What happens is, for companies to attract clients in the US, clients in Canada, clients in or maybe in Europe, so pag nakita nila that their employees or their technical support has this kinds of certification, nagkakaroon ng brand trust that okay itong company na to, yung support services nila capable mag-deliver ng requirement namin. Okay? So that is the impact of certification, in particular po sa mga industry practitioner. Okay? Thank you, Sir PJ.
Thank you, Sir Francis. At narinig naman natin, mga Filipino youth, kailangan pala tayo mag-reskill, upskill, at kailangan natin yung mga skill certification na yan. Number 1, for our salary grade daw. At syempre, para naman sa ating company position, diba? Or company role. So, please watch out for that. Isulat nyo nga kung ano yung mga dream salaries nyo, tsaka dream positions nyo, para manifesting tayo. And now moving forward, and this is for Director Abraham and Ms. Isang. Director Abraham, alam naman po natin na marami pong mga industry partners na nag-offer ng mga ICT trainings, pero in fact, and unfortunately, mataas pa rin po yung unemployment rate natin at meron pa rin po, again, skills gap. Ano raw po ang dapat natin gawin to prepare our students to combat these challenges? Director Abraham.
Well, unang-una, bumabalik tayo ulit sa curriculum. No? How relevant is the curriculum to our the needs of society today? And DepEd is actually in the process of reviewing the curriculum. Nagsimula na yan actually noong 2019. Pina-review na yan ni Secretary Briones yung ating curriculum to see if its relevance to the new situation that we have today. Nagkaroon lang ng delays yung pag-review ng curriculum dahil nangyari yung pandemic. We had to release a shortened version of the curriculum to respond to the pandemic. No? But the process of revising the curriculum now to the upcoming requirements ng ating society is already ongoing, no? And we're looking at actually releasing this before the end of the year, no? Sa time na ni incoming Secretary Sara Duterte. And very important naman sa ating curriculum is yung building up of the foundation skills, no? Yung critical thinking, yung collaboration skills, and of course yung mga skills such as yung digital literacy that would help our learners to become more employable in the future, no? And within the respective curriculum, we're also having initiatives making sure that our teachers are certified in mga international organizations and tools such as Microsoft, and also getting our learners to be certified, no? Para when they graduate, kita kaagad ng mga employers din natin na merong certification na ang ating kabataan that would meet their specific requirements, no? So these are some of the initiatives that we're doing in the Department of Education to make sure that ang ating mga kabataan will become employable when they graduate as early as senior high school.
Looking forward po to those adjustments, and I will hope and pray po with you na talagang mawala na po or mabawasan itong skills gap na ito. Miss Isang, your thoughts po, kasi you are a private industry practitioner at nararamdaman din po natin yan sa public sector. What are your thoughts po, Miss Isang?
Alam mo, PJ, sang-ayon ako sa sinabi ni Director Abram when it comes to curriculum review. Lalong-lalo na ngayon na ang hinihingi kasi ng ating mga partners sa industriya ay updated and relevant skills ng ating mga graduates, and that can be addressed by ensuring na ang curriculum natin is updated also. Ang maganda dyan, ang Microsoft, we are really working closely with DepEd to ensure na nabibigyan namin ng support ang DepEd pagdating sa pagsuporta sa kanila ng curriculum update, no, and integration ng tamang content. Nandito kami when it comes to ICT skilling and ensuring ng ating mga K-12 students. And I am emphasizing on that, hindi lang tayo kasi dapat pag-graduate ka, i-train ka na natin. Inuumpisahan natin sila habang bata pa. Meron tayong programa sa Microsoft para sa young learners. So from kinder up to the middle grades, meron tayong available content and tools and programs from Microsoft na ini-integrate natin sa iba't ibang subjects, no, para matulungan yung mga bata to exercise their computational thinking, collaboration skills, communication skills, logical analytical thinking, diba? And preparing them for computer science, preparing them also for STEM education. And then meron tayong mga content around coding, diba? So habang bata pa, as young as grade 3, tinatrain na natin sila mag-isip na parang nagko-code sila. So we have block-based coding using Minecraft Education Edition. So yan yung isa sa mga examples. Paano naman yung secondary level na learners, iba yung junior high school and senior high school? Meron tayong productivity skills na tinuturo na sa kanila para for them to grow their knowledge and competency sa mga emerging technology. So, dito pumapasok yung mga iba't ibang tools din kung saan nag-invest si DepEd to ensure na our students, no, 25 million students, are able to use those and apply those, diba, pag umalis na sila sa grade 12. Kakambal yan, kailangan din natin syempre i-train yung mga teachers because we can't just talk about skilling the students if teachers aren't trained. And I really salute DepEd for ensuring that the teachers are taken care of when it comes to their professional development journey. Meron nang ini-introduce si DepEd ngayon, and again, we are partners with them pagdating sa skilling and certification ng teaching and non-teaching staff para sabay na nag-grow yung skills ng teachers para napapag-grow din natin yung skills ng mga students. When it comes to technical skilling and hands-on experience, nandun din sa skilling journey natin itong K-12, no? So, dyan yung mga junior and senior high school students. Again, and available dito yung mga iba't ibang platforms na patuloy ini-introduce ng Microsoft sa DepEd. Marami tayong mga free trainings which can prepare our students for certification. So, dyan pumapasok yung NS Learn. So, I hope the kids and the students are listening today kasi parte ng mga presentations earlier on or some of the past events na ginawa rin natin for the youth, no? So, dyan pumapasok yung NS Learn where you can find hundreds or even thousands of content na mga free trainings yan that prepare the students for certification. Nandiyan din yung LinkedIn Learning. Non-technical trainings naman ang makikita niya dyan to help you, prepare for work, diba? Ito yung mga essential skills na kailangan natin sa work, not necessarily technical things like how to communicate properly, how to ace your interview, other skills that you can build, learning, other technologies you can find also on LinkedIn Learning. And last but not the least, meron ding bagong kaka-launch lang na programa si Microsoft, no? It's called D2S program. It's direct to students, where eligible students, pwede silang kumuha ng free Pearson VUE certification voucher for cloud fundamentals, and may kasama siyang libreng practice test. So normally you would have to pay for it, pero ito, nilaunch to ng Microsoft worldwide para sa ating mga estudyante na eligible sumali dito. So if you're interested, just send us an email and we're happy to get back to you. Thanks, PJ.
Thank you, Director Abraham. Thank you, Ms. Isang. So, hindi lang po pala yung mga students ang ina-upskill at nire-reskill natin. Pati pala mga teachers, pati pala yung curriculum, pati pala yung technologies that support all of these. Thank you very much again for your service. And for our last question, this goes out to all the panelists, starting with you, Aya. In behalf po of all the graduating senior high school students and mga naghahanap ng trabaho, ano po yung advice na mabibigay nyo sa kanila in behalf of your company and your industry? Ms. Aya.
My advice to a candidate who currently graduated in a senior high school program, this is the best time this is an opportunity to make things right the first time. So, una, research. Take time to research. Make time and make the initiative to better yourself in all aspects. Technical communication, if in case you wanted to learn to do Microsoft Excel, kung gusto mong mag-learn to Microsoft PowerPoint and other technical skills, multimedia, have the initiative and make use of the internet. Lahat available na sa internet. And last but not the least, build your network and engage with people. Yan yung makakatulong sa inyo to learn the ropes and to be where you are, makuha yung dream goal mo. So lahat naman tayo nasa start entry level, and in the years to come, pag ginawa mo lahat yun, you would be a successful employee.
Thank you, Ms. Aya. Kayo naman po, Ms. Isa.
Thank you, PJ, for that question. Alam mo, 3 things lang ang gusto kong i-impart sa ating mga senior high school students ngayon at sa ating mga graduating students. First, learning doesn't stop in school. Hindi porke nakagraduate na kayo, tapos na ang inyong pag-aaral. Ang importante kasi maging lifelong learners tayo. For some of you who will decide to pursue college education, good for you. Pero dun sa ating mga grade 12 students na gusto nang magtrabaho, okay din yun kasi gusto na rin natin na may sweldo na tayo, ayaw muna natin mag-college. But whatever path you choose to take, importante, patuloy nating binibigyan ng ating sarili ng pagkakataon na matuto. Whether on the job or other things that will interest us, that will help us grow our minds. Pangalawa, agree ako dun sa sinabi ni Francis. Aside from preparing for your interview, diba, dressing properly, dapat mag-prepare talaga tayo. Kasi hindi naman lahat ng bagay na dumating sa atin, kaya nating gawin ng chamba-chamba. Ako, guilty ako dyan. Nung estudyante ako, di ba? Parang lahat, hindi naman lahat. Marami akong bagay na naipapasa kasi chumachamba ako. But then I realized ngayon na I'm more mature, di ba? Na nagtatrabaho na ako. May advantage talaga kapag nag-prepare ka. Whether showing up to an interview, whether napasok ka na ng trabaho at meron mga ipagagawa sa iyong presentation, kailangan talagang mag-prepare. Mas talo ng taong nag-prepare ang hindi nag-prepare at akala niya alam niya yun lahat. Kasi hindi mo rin naman ini-expect ano yung mga tatanungin sa'yo, ano yung mga kailangan mong i-share sa mga nakikinig sa'yo. And last but not the least, hindi talaga ito madali. Sinasabi ko na sa inyo as early as now, it's not a walk in the clouds. It's not, parang lahat tayo masaya pagka-graduate kung ano yung mga nakikita natin at nababasa natin, diba, sa films. Hindi siya ganyan. Hindi siya madali. You should be willing to take it all in kung gusto mo talagang, umangat, in life. And mahirap man siya, challenging, just take it. I-endure natin yun, and all your hard work, the fruits of your labor, diba, sunod-sunod yan na dadating sa'yo. Gaganda rin yung buhay mo. Ang importante, whatever career you choose, hindi naman kasi sa atin lahat are interested in developing our ICT skills. May iba sa atin, gustong maging chef, or gusto mong maging into arts, or gusto mong maging musician, gusto mong maging celebrity. That's fine. But what's important is, kapag natapos tayong mag-aral, nakikita na ng ating mga magulang na eto na yung napatapos na nila tayo. Ang importante maging tayong productive citizens of the Philippines. Mag-contribute tayo sa nation building and we are able to give back. At meron tayong financial freedom. Because when you have financial freedom, you can do a lot of things. You don't have to depend on anyone. Hindi ka kailangan manghiram. Diba? Hindi ka rin nasa mercy ng ibang tao. Pag meron kang financial freedom, marami kang magagawa. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Isang. So indeed, keep on learning and focus on your journey. Kayo naman po, Director Abraham.
Well, in my case, no, ang suggestion ko lang sa ating mga upcoming graduates is that when you look for a job, look for jobs where you will be happy, no, where you will feel fulfilled. Very important to, no, kasi kung hindi mo naman gusto yung trabaho, no, wala kang motivation to improve, no, and mapapansin to ng inyong mga employers, no. Ang employers natin, ang gusto talaga nila sa mga kanilang mga employees is magkakaroon ng mga initiative, magkakaroon ng mga innovation, magbibigay ng kanilang tawag nito buhay para sa kumpanya, no, na hindi lang sweldo, hindi lang 8 to 5 yung trabaho, pero makikita nila na nagbibigay ng effort para ma-improve yung yung company, and hindi ka magkakaroon ng ganyang motivation if hindi mo gusto yung trabaho mo. Kaya it's very important to look for a job where you will be happy and where you will feel fulfilled, no. And given na gagraduate pa lang kayo, mahirap magpili actually. Kasi marami kayong mga kakompetensya, mga bagong graduates din. Hindi mo makuha siguro yung sa first job mo, yung dream job mo, no. Pero if hindi mo makuha yun, always work towards it, no. And hindi to katulad dati na ang pag-graduate mo, usually nakapako ka na kung anong course mo, no. Kung HR ka, naka-HR ka na. Kung IT ka na. In these days, mas flexible na actually yung ating mga companies, no. And you can work towards the job that you really want through certifications, no. Hindi lang kayo nakapako dito sa having a college degree, having a senior high school degree. You can work towards your dream job by going through certification, by acquiring the skills that you would need to finally get the job that you would want to be with throughout your life. So yun lang ho ang aking maibigay na advice sa ating mga senior high school graduates.
Thank you, Director Abraham. Ang sabi nga raw po nila, di ba? If you love what you're doing, you will never work a day in your life. Ayan. Kayo naman po, Sir Francis, your advice.
So again, thank you, Sir PJ. So with that question is two things. Number one, short-term plan. Number two is long-term plan. With the short-term plan, definitely is how to get employed. Two things. You need to at least have review of different interview question and optimize internet po, no? Manood tayo ng iba't ibang videos online about the potential interview question that's being asked by those company. At the same time, basa tayo ng mga feedback ng mga individuals na na-interview na sa kumpanya na yon. Okay? So, yun po yung mga siguro technique na pwede kong ibigay. And next is dress properly or what you call accordingly, no? Before ka pumunta sa interview, check mo muna kung talagang appropriate yung dress mo, and maybe ask advice from definitely your family, and at the same time your friends if it's acceptable yung ganong klaseng dress na susuotin mo for your interview. Second yung kanina, yung long-term plan. Yung long-term plan, eto medyo not everyone will have a long-term plan, no? Not everyone talaga. But I suggest have one, at least a long-term plan, maybe a 10-year goal. Like, ano yung aspiration mo? At the end of the day, wala naman mawawala no? If you have that aspiration, like a bold plan, no? I want to be the head of the company. I want to be a manager, right? So, if you have that long-term plan, at least every year, try to check if you're nearing towards that long-term plan, right? So, if papunta ka na doon sa long-term plan, continue mo lang. If you feel like with the long-term plan and chinek mo yung current status mo ngayon, medyo malayo ka pa sa long-term plan, what you can do is to come up with strategies or plans how to reach that long-term plan or goal. Okay? So with that, thank you, Sir PJ. I hope everyone, our beloved upcoming graduates for senior high school, sana nakapagbigay ako ng small tips na pwede nyo magamit after graduation. Okay, good luck. Good luck, everyone.
Maraming salamat po at ito po ang Learning Circle with me, PJ, at maraming salamat po sa ating mga panelists. Director Abraham ng DepEd. Maraming salamat din po, Miss Aya ng Alorica. And Miss Isang of Microsoft Philippines. And Sir Francis of Audentes Technologies. Thank you and have a great day ahead.
Maraming salamat sa ating Learning Circle panelists. Nakapagbahagi sila ng insights about the importance of job readiness, relevant skill set, and micro-credentials or industry certifications to help you land that job. And now, as we end our program, we would like to invite the country manager of Microsoft Philippines for his closing remarks. Let's welcome Mr. Peter Maqueda.
Undersecretary Alen Pascual, Director Abraham Abinil, and to all the teachers and millions of senior high school students tuned in, magandang araw. As a partner of the Department of Education in advancing the quality of education in the Philippines, Microsoft is delighted to be part of the DepEd Career Acceleration Program, which provides our senior high school students the proper resources to acquire relevant and in-demand skills needed by the industry today. The DepEd and Microsoft partnership strengthens our mission in supporting the readiness journey of 25 million students and 950,000 teachers in the Philippines through relevant tools and programs that give them the opportunity to build competencies aligned to industry standards and jobs that do not even exist today. Aligned with Microsoft's skilling initiative called Para sa Bayan, we're committed to empowering organizations, industries, and individuals, both in the workforce and in our classrooms. Through this, we hope to create inclusive economic recovery and opportunities that build an empowered future for the country. Thank you once again to DepEd and to one of our partners, Alorica, for making this happen. Congratulations to all our senior high school students for completing the session, and congratulations to our 2022 graduates. With the right skills and certification support that DepEd and Microsoft are providing, we can expect more prepared DepEd students joining the workforce. Here's to a brighter future with you. Mabuhay kayo.
Now, if you wish to claim your certificates for attending this event, go ahead to teams.microsoft.com and log in with your Microsoft 365 accounts and look for BTS Student Kit. From there, click the Career Accelerator program and answer the post-event knowledge check form. And once you pass the knowledge check, an e-certificate will be emailed to you. Plus, you get a chance to win one of our 50 Microsoft Student Kits up for grabs. 50! So if I were you, I would go to that link. The announcement of our 50 winners will be posted on July 1st, 2022. And again, I would like to remind all of our students to, number 1, access, activate, and use your Microsoft 365 accounts. Muli, this is a benefit available to all our DepEd students. And number 2, ipin nyo ang ating BTS Student Kit sa inyong Microsoft Teams para ma-access nyo rin ang ating resources ng Career Accelerator program. And if you need help in activating your accounts and accessing your student kits, we will play the instructional videos again after this. Again, ako po si Therese Makasait at para sa ating mga senior high school students, bring these learnings with you and continue to build your skills. We look forward to building the future workforce with all of you. Good luck, students, and have a great day to everyone. Bye, guys.
Para makuha ang BTS Student Kit, mag-login lang sa teams.microsoft.com gamit ang inyong DepEd Microsoft account. Kapag nakapag-login na sa Microsoft Teams, i-click lang ang ellipses na ito. at i-type ang BTS Student Kit. Merong lilitaw na BTS Student Kit na app and i-click ito. And then mula dito, makikita nyo na ang inyong Digital Starter Kit or ang inyong Student Kit. Ang iyong Student Kit ang magbibigay sa inyo ng necessary links for you to download Office apps, Windows 10 or 11, Minecraft Education Edition, OneDrive, OneNote, Premium Templates, and many more. Kung kinakailangan nyo ng tulong sa kung paano i-download ang mga benefits na ito, maaari lamang na i-click din ang link na katabi nila. Meron din tayong link sa ating mga student programs and isa dito ang ating Career Accelerator program. If you click on this link, may kita nyo ang link sa orientation na maaari nyong panoorin. At para makuha ang inyong certificate sa programa na ito, sagutan lang ang post-event knowledge check form dito sa link na ito. Kapag ito ay naipasa nyo, makakakuha na kayo ng certificate.